Greetings and salutations, welcome back. I am Video Vomit. I'm sitting here in my almost completed new office, and I got a box today. Not much different than any other day. You get mail all the time if you're someone like me. But I got a very special box right here. This box contains, it's from Super7, I might give it away right away, but it's a box of the movie Masters of the Universe figures, I am a massive MOTU fan. I absolutely love Masters of the Universe, always have since I was a kid. So I think that this is like a good little video to do to, get back in there and just show off some of these awesome new figures from Super7. This is a monumentous occasion. It's a little bittersweet as well. I'll get into that later. But yeah, I just wanted to do this. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now I have all the figures out of their mailer boxes. First up we have Commander Karg, the evil master of cruelty. And pretty awesome packaging. We have, it's the standard packaging that you have for all the Masters of the Universe classics when it was being handled by Matty Collector Mattel, and now being handled by Super7. So you got your back bio right here, and you have the art of Karg, and then you have up here other figures in the line, other figures from the Filmation line. So yeah, this is going to be pretty standard format for the other figures. It hasn't pretty much changed since the beginning, so it's pretty standard. Even the cool little bubble there, and the lighting on the sides, and the gray skull cobblestone type stuff. So yeah, so also I wanted to, now that he's better lit, we can zoom in on his face here. And so yeah, only a face only a mother could love. So yeah, now I want to move on to another figure. I'm going to show all the boxes, and then we'll open all of them, and then I'll have all the figures all out at once. So we have our Rebel Leader He-Man here. Yeah, so as you can see here, he's got a bit of a head cut off issue with the logo there. This is it looks really tall in the box. I don't know if it'll be any bit different, but also you can see here that he has another head hidden behind the logo. So yeah, he's got some other accessories that you can see in there. Also the cloth cape good, that's pretty cool. So these are all based not on the movie versions per se. They're more based on the William Stout. That's kind of like the name of the collection, the William Stout Collection. So it has these not quite the Lundgren look, but it's the version from the movie. The look and everything, not exact, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is pretty exciting just to even have these figures. It's pretty exciting to have this kind of opportunity to add to the collection of the Masters of the Universe classics. So pretty awesome. Let's see here. So now, moving on, move these back. We have Dark Despot Skeletor, the evil tyrant of Eternia. So yeah, check it out. Also, better lighting, so we can check out his awesome face right here before we open it up. Just a really good look at the figure before we open it. Again, same deal, same custom bio, custom picture, same format for all of these. And then finally, we have the God Skeletor. evil deity of destruction.
I always really like those like titles that they give them. Another figure where his whole head is being cut off, but that is a pretty big headdress, so you can't really blame them for trying to, look how tall that thing is inside the box. Again, same format. I'm not really like the illustrations on the back are pretty cool, but I don't know. I kind of would like maybe some like concept art from the movie would have been pretty cool. I don't know. It seems like it's like comic book art to me, so I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's what it is. All right. So we have our 4 figures all lined up here. Next time you'll see them, they'll be out of their boxes. Okay, guys. So here we have our Masters of the Universe Classics William Stout Collection figures out of their boxes, free from their plastic prisons. And overall, I have to say, I'm very impressed. These figures have incredible amount of detail in them, and the paintwork on them is really impressive as well. Lots of like washes and stuff. The He-Man figure specifically, while I've been like playing around with it and like moving it and looking at it, it kind of almost feels more like a NECA figure almost. Not their fragileness, but more the presentation, I guess. It feels really, really good, and that coming from I haven't really bought a lot of Super 7 Classics stuff. This is kind of my first full set that I bought of them, so that does kind of say a little something about maybe my view on this and like my perspective on it, so it might be a little bit different. But I have to say, like, overall with like the quality of the figures, they're really well done, and I don't have any like issues or anything. I have like small paint defects here and there, but nothing really like deal breaking, I guess, for these figures. So I guess we'll start with our boy over here, Karg, and with him, yeah, he's got a really great look to him. There was the other Commander Karg figure that was put out, and that one's like blue and brown and gold. A couple of, like, I know it's mainly blue. This one's really nice. I don't have that one. I don't have the other Sarad or Blade either. So now I'm gonna have to go out and find them now because I have these. But for this one at least, the paint detail is really incredible. Like on the loincloth here, there's like a really nice wash in there. More metallic paint jobs for the tools and some of the other things that are hanging off of his belt. Awesome details on like the chest harness and everything. But I think the real paintwork that is important on this figure is definitely the face. You can definitely see right here. Yeah, light's better right here. Zoom in. So for his face, it's this like really palish color, and then over it has like this really awesome gray wash, really dark sunken eyes. There's like there's paint in there as well, heavy appliance of it, so it kind of makes that eye socket look all the deeper, and then make those eyes inside pop so much more, which is really cool. Also on the inside of the mouth, there's like more pink and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then even on these like jewels and stuff right here, it's all has a really nice like washes and paint detail on there. So yeah, super awesome. Even his hair has this really nice wash in it. Wish that the fur on his hair, the wash on there, and then I just wish that the fur on the back of his hat, on the back of his cape here, had a wash as well. Something a customizer can take care of, no problem. But for someone who just wants the stock figure, I guess that might be an issue. As for accessories, he has, right off the bat, we got the pistol, the laser pistol he's got here, which is pretty cool weapon for him. And then he has his awesome hook accessory, which is articulated, which is pretty nice. That's fun. Like I said before, I didn't have that original one, so this is the one that I have This is like the first one that I have of him, so not really sure how to compare him to the other one. Probably just colorway, I assume. Most of the sculpt and everything is the same, from my memory I can recall. And then he's got this blade here, which is pretty cool. Fits into his hand nicely. We've got the new articulated wrists there for the Super 7 figures that they've been doing for a while now. Rocker joints, or it's kind of, not rocker, it's really more like the peg is kind of inserted in there. Pretty standard articulation. I won't really get into that for all this. His articulation is a little hindered because of his heavy armor and the cape and stuff like that. Pretty standard stuff for like these heavy outfitted figures like this in these lines. They kind of tend to have that like bulky feeling, and it's a little bit harder for them to do more expressive movement and stuff. So yeah, I think that's it for Karg here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all. A really solid figure. I think that maybe if it was perfect, then maybe we would have gotten a different character rather than him. But I get it. It's more cost effective that way to just repaint a figure. So I understand that. But I would have wanted to see maybe like Evil Lyn or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Moving on. Let's put him aside here. Rest him up against the back there. Let's go with God Skeletor. So we got our God Franklin Jella Skeletor here. Try and get the light on him a little bit better. Yeah, so I guess so for him it's a little weird reviewing this one first, but this Skeletor and the other one, they both kind of have they both do have like the exact same body, down to pretty everything besides just this loincloth here, and the heads as well are also different, but still this is a really effective figure simply because, again, they did a really great job with some of the paint details on this. For right here, it has incredible detail. It has like this like brushed worn feeling on it, which is really cool. It makes all those like really crazy details that they worked really hard on, the Four Horsemen, makes it really pop really well. Again, also extremely fantastic work on the mouth here. There we go. The face has extremely awesome detail, and he's got these really cool black eyes inside of there. His mouth is really well done. There's like a nice wash on the face, and strong sculpting throughout the whole thing. I guess I'm just like in the original movie, I wasn't here. Let me fix this. There we go. So in the original movie, I wasn't like a huge fan of this Skeletor in the first place. So I guess it's not like the greatest. It's not like the standout of the few figures that we have here. It's not my favorite. But you know, I really do actually really appreciate this figure for what it is, and it's really cool. It's really bright. The light shines off of it really well in pictures that I've been taking of it, and it looks awesome, and it has an awesome silhouette. That's the one thing that's really cool about this as well, is that it has a really awesome silhouette. The details on the helmet are really well done. I have a small paint scuff on the jewel on mine, but that's okay. Again, easily fixable if you're like a customizer or whatever. So yeah, not my favorite one of all of them. I think he's probably the last in the line of how I would rate this. But that being said, still a really solid figure. Maybe I would have, if I wasn't doing this review, I probably would have like just kept him in his box, just because I would kind of want something like that from this line still in the packaging, and I feel like he's kind of a solid candidate for something like that. So I don't know. Also, there's the paint. The gold paint did make some of the joints stick and stuff. That was one of the other things while I was like playing around with it. that I did notice. So yeah, just moving on to the next one. Let's put him back here, and we'll do Skeletor himself. And this was the Skeletor that I knew that I needed to have when those pre-orders went up. This thing is so awesome. I love all the crazy details on... Yeah, it's the same, like I said before, pretty much exactly the same, but the paint on this one is so really well done that it really adds this whole extra element to how nice this this sculpt is. So, zoom in. Focus. So yeah, just, I mean, look at this. This is incredible. This is awesome. It has really awesome detailing. Like, I love these like stripes that come down here, and it has like each one has their own like detail, and it's really well done. And the gauntlets are really nice. The cape has this really awesome paint deco on it, and it flows into the hood where it's like this dark color, this like really, it looks black, but it kind of under a certain light kind of doesn't. But then it has this awesome purple highlighting all over it that makes the whole thing look really great and really makes everything pop really well. Also, his sword is really nice as well. Awesome, the batwing detail and the skull on there looks really, really nice. And then, of course, he has his Havoc staff, and I think, yeah, it is the same one as the God Skeletor, but this one has, of course, the gold, much more brushed, kind of has like a rub on it almost, rather than like a wash or anything. But it has a black handle where that one's just straight gold. I do really like that one. This it strikes that look of the film really well. Another thing I wanted to bring up about the figure itself is that, like, obviously, the big glaring thing with this is that it's on this like Masters of the Universe Classics buck. Like, the body is all like super buff. A lot of the same parts, like the bicep here and the ab and the legs. That's like the same like muscle structure and like big old bulk, Henry Cavill status as a lot of these others figures in that line, and they have it too. So, but I think that it doesn't like hinder that figure at all. I think it not only helps you put it into the line of the other figures and helps it fit really well, but I don't think it like hurts this figure at all if you would rather have that more movie accuracy or whatever that you'd get out of a different company that might be handling this. I like it. I think it's fine. So that was something that I was like thinking about, and I was like, does it really matter? Is it really that big of an issue? I can definitely understand why certain people would want that a more slimmer look or whatever, or more lean, I guess. So he's got his last accessory here, which is the Cosmic Key, and it is what it is. But I think that if there's any one character besides Gwildor that could have it, would be him. So and it looks great with him. And I just wish that I was trying to check this after I was watching the movie. I was I wanted to be able to hang it on his belt there, but that's a minor, tiny little thing that it seems insignificant. But then I wanted to save the best thing about this figure for last before we move on, which is obviously the face. Skeletor's face himself. So check that out. Wow. Really awesome detail. I've been looking at this thing at his face so much that I feel like there's almost a like skin, like a skin color pigment, some kind of like super light skin color pigment inside the eye there, that it almost like looks like a dude in prosthetics or something. But I think it's just you know, I think I think maybe I'm just seeing things or something. I don't know, but the figure is really, really solid done. It has really awesome eye sunken detail, and then the nose, and then the really awesome wash around the face. It's like this pinkish skin kind of wash, so it really gets into all those cracks and all those details of the sculpt and brings it out like crazy. Just absolutely incredible face, so striking, and it has like a really awesome similarity to the film, the Frank Langella Skeletor, which is super awesome. I have this weird paint fleck on the top of his head. Hard to focus. But yeah, it's a little strange. Not a big deal though. But overall, insane. This is like one of the figures that I needed this. One of the figures that I made this pre-order for all of them was this figure. And it did not disappoint. I am happy to say that this figure is a solid figure, and I think that anyone Masters of the Universe fans, in the spectrum of whether you like the show, the cartoon, the cartoon show, the 2000X, you like the movie, you like, you know, just the toys, you like the mini comics, you have there's such a wide spectrum of like looks and styles and things like that. But I feel like this Skeletor is a must-have, especially if you're a Skeletor collector. You definitely have to have all the Skeletors, and I think that he definitely deserves to be in that collection. Again, same with Disco Skeletor back there, but same thing with the God Skeletor. If you are like a huge Skeletor fan, yeah, these are both worthy enough to be in your Skeletor collection, I would say. Yeah. Moving along to the strongest man in the universe, He-Man himself. All right. So I saved him for last because he is obviously my favorite of the line. Yeah, I've been really mulling this figure over for a minute now, since I've opened it and like played around with all of them and taken some pictures of them and stuff like that. So his figure, man, it's really interesting. Like I said earlier, this figure kind of feels like a NECA figure to me in a weird way, because a lot of the parts are different. Like most of besides the chest, maybe, I think that this whole figure is like all original sculpt, which is really cool. Because, you know, Dolph Lundgren had his own type of body style and everything compared to the actual He-Man or whatever. So it's cool to have this this like unique He-Man, like completely unique He-Man figure in our He-Man collection now. So I really enjoy it. Overall, I will just say I really like this figure a lot. I think that for a lot of people, if you're a fan of the movie, which I was, I think that this is definitely going to scratch that itch that you finally can have that type of He-Man in your collection, that movie style He-Man. He comes with 2 different heads, as you can see. The whole time his decapitated head has been sitting here. But let's try and get a better look at this one. Yeah, so this one, I don't know. They're not that different. The head is the sculpt on this one, like the cheeks are a little bit more sunk. It is a little bit different. I will swap the heads in a second. Sorry, I keep going out of focus here. But yeah, it has a wash in the hair to bring out all the sculptural detail on the hair, and then he's got like a little bit more. I don't know if it's not but it has the little wisped up hair. This one does. The other one does too, but I don't know if they're that different. They are obviously like solid, like very different from each other, but it's just so subtle. Like I feel like this is more based on like the art. This one is more based on the art from the back of the card and stuff. Like maybe if you don't want that super Dolph look, but I don't feel like this one is the most Dolph it could be, I guess. Yeah, so we'll zoom back, and I'll take this one off first, and then, okay, so there is a little weird articulation there with the mullet hindrance. Who knew with the figure? So yeah, here we'll zoom in, get a good look of this face, this head on this He-Man body. I don't know. It's been weird because it kind of looks like a Superman or like a Bruce Wayne head or something with like this mulleted hair on top of it. Again, I assume it's like, so it's not such like a, you could use it for, if you don't want this more movie head-ish, you can have this like more comic art style of it. Yeah, I don't know. I like the other one a lot more, but just wanted to show that one off as well, just in case there are people out there that prefer that one. So let's switch them back. Again, just easy. The ball joint, it's pretty much all the same as they've always been. Let's get into our boy He-Man's accessories here. Get a good shot of this head as well. Yeah, I just like this one more. It is a little bit, the skin is a little darker on the head, so there is like in some of the pictures you can tell a lot more that this head, it has like a little bit different pigment than the body, but it's not like that deal breaking for me, so it's not a huge deal. He does have this like 5 o'clock shadow thing going on, so that might like definitely play a part in that. Also, I like the eyes. I like the way that they painted the eyes on this really well. I brought up Henry Cavill before, but he kind of does look like Henry Cavill. Like, he has this like Witcher. I'm the Witcher. He's got this like Witcher kind of like chin and cheek structure kind of going on. But yeah, it like, I feel like if you stare at it long enough, it'll start to look like Dolph or Henry Cavill or anybody. But yeah, so I enjoy this head a lot more. This is the one I will be displaying this figure with, so I am rambling. I will continue on with the figure. So awesome armor detail on this thing is absolutely insane. The detailing on the sides of this thing are really crazy. Just all this awesome detail, all brought out with the rub or wash or whatever. I keep bringing that up, but in case there's anyone who doesn't know, it's like there's all this awesome like sculpting going on. So if you want to bring that out, you will dab the paint or apply the paint, and then you'll rub it off. That's called a rub, or a wash is where the paint is more watery. Not always use water, but it is like a thinner consistency, and then you can just like drizzle it or lightly apply it, and everything will kind of naturally fall into all those nooks and crannies, like the hair here, the belt, the insignia, and definitely with these gigantic shin guards. But yeah, this definitely, like, the shin guards and all the detailing and like that really makes the figure stand out. Also even on his boots, he's got like stitching and stuff like that on there that really works for this figure in a great way. Also, he's got like big muscles and veins all coming off him and stuff. So like even on the forearms, on his biceps there, he has like muscles. Even on his hand, he's got all those veins that kind of stick out on his hand and stuff. Yeah, so I was going to move on to the accessories. So, let's see, where do we start? I guess we'll start with his gun, the He-Man gun. You know, everyone knows that signature He-Man gun. I like the movie a lot. I make fun of it. I play fun, but it's fine. I think that that in the canon movie, they wanted, you know, I know that there was like a lot of back and forth between Mattel and Canon Films when they were working on the movie, and it was all about you know, what can He-Man do? The whole reason they created those like Stormtrooper bootleg guys is so that they could have something that He-Man could like kick around and kill, and a faceless entity that he could slaughter, basically. Because, you know, heroes can't kill and stuff like that. But then that was more towards the end of the Masters of the Universe line as toys while this movie was coming out, and it wasn't the line wasn't making as much money as they wanted it to, so, or as it once was, I should rather say. And so they kind of became more flexible on what was okay to put in the Masters of the Universe movie. So that's why he got to do as much as he did and as much as he could get away with, and also use a gun. So yeah, I mean, it is a very futuristic looking gun at that. So, and it looks great in his hand, and it looks great with him. So I am totally cool with this. I mean, I don't know why anyone would really. I think it would be like the fundamental idea of He-Man having a gun, is which people don't like. But you know, he flies around in a Wind Raider, and I'm pretty sure that has some guns on there, and you know, I'm sure he flies some other things and works other machines that have guns on it too. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It's fine. I don't care. But yeah, getting off track. This gun is pretty cool. Looked great in his hand. And yeah, also the detail on the holster is really awesome too, which is really cool. So stick that back in there. And now he's got two knives and his sword. Really cool detailing on the sheath of the sword. A little bit of red paint, some weathered up like brass kind of gold color almost. And then, yeah, so he's got this dagger here. Doesn't fit that great into his hand. Pretty loose. But, you know, if you want to do I'm throwing the blade, or, you know, doing the cool Assassin's Creed thing. Yeah, so a little tough. I'm sure there's workarounds. Like I always kind of do things like this. If I want, I'll stick his finger in there a little bit if I wanted to kind of like have a better hold. But yeah, for the sword holding hand, doesn't really hold the knife all that well. Also, it doesn't really stay in the sheath all that well either. I've kind of like had it come out, but not as bad as the other one. So we'll move on to that one now. Yeah, so this, here, I'll move it down. So this knife is probably the worst thing about this. Well, not the knife itself, but rather the hole, the little weird hole that it goes into. This knife just kind of drops in there and also can drop out. And it's extremely small. It's like letter opener status looking thing. So nice paint on it. But yeah, this is definitely something that can easily get lost if he takes like a tumble off a shelf or something and you don't remember. You put him back, gets sucked up into the vacuum, whatever. Gets swept under the rug, gets eaten by your cat. I don't know. But this is definitely a liability. I was thinking about putting some tack, some like museum tack at the bottom, and then just kind of like sticking it in there. I know I've heard that's kind of like a remedy for things like that, but yeah, really the only issue about this toy that I have is this weird little thing here, I guess. But that's really it so far that I've had an issue with. But moving on to the best accessory, which is his power sword. So yeah, this is, so it clips on. It has this like it's a little hard plastic, but the rest of the sheath is all soft plastic. And then even down here, it has something that you can tuck the edge of the blade into, and you pull that out. And it goes into his hand pretty well. Yeah, it's got like a nice grip. It's not a death grip, but it is solid. So the detail on the blade is really nice. We have it is a little reminiscent of the power sword, but it's kind of like a more flourished, I guess, version of that, you know, because it had like two curving arcs with like balls at the end of it. I don't know, some like rounded ends to it. So it's kind of like that. Movie accurate, I'd say. this side looks great of the sword, but because of the paint, the other side, I guess I'll have to take it out so you can see it a little bit better. The other side has this like weird, I don't know if you can see it very well, but the paint is the paint is like slathered on, so it kind of has like this really sloppy, dried look to it afterwards with the paint. Really hard to see and make out, but it's not that big of a deal because it's like on this side it's completely fine. On this side, maybe when they were painting it in the factory or wherever, they paint one side and then they paint the other, and then there was like it like dripped over and then dried, or wherever they like had it drying or whatever, it kind of like drips over onto one side, because that's kind of how it looks to me, at least. Not a huge deal, because like for pictures and displaying, and you can have it, have them do as much of a He-Man, I have the power thing as you can, and it's not like you can't really tell. In most of the pictures that I've taken of him, you can't really tell. So it's like, I think this would definitely be like really upsetting to certain people. I'm more lenient. I'm a more forgiving toy owner, I guess. But it's not a huge deal to me. It's kind of whatever. I did mention there's like in each one of these figures there is like tiny little paint blemishes or mess ups, but I think that that's something that's going to happen, I guess. But they must have just packed them all together to make it easier. These are all the ones that are paint defects. Let's put them all in one box. But yeah, so the figure is really awesome. Like, again, my favorite one of all of these, the order would obviously be He-Man, regular Skeletor, and then our boy Karg, and then God Skeletor. But yeah, I've taken some really awesome pictures of these guys, and I should definitely get into the cape as well. The cape has a nice stretch to it, but you can definitely tell that if you stretch it a little too much, the ends are going to start fringing up. So that's definitely something that you should really, really be careful of, or he's going to end up as the second half of the movie He-Man rather than the first half, because this cape will definitely, I don't think it's going to age very well, I will say that. I like the cape a lot. If I had my way, I would, and I do, I might actually weather it further down the line. Like if it does start to get like tethered or something, I might be like, oh, okay, well, might need to like weather it a little bit so it looks like it's supposed to be like that. But you can definitely tell. I like cloth good capes on anything. Like if there's a certain way that we could perfect it, then I would absolutely love that on most cape figures. I do get, like, I'm not a fan of like wired capes either, so I do appreciate this. It's weird, someone who takes a lot of pictures of toys, that I don't like wired capes, but I don't know, it just feels weird for some reason. I don't know. To each their own. I don't care. But yeah, so I'm over the moon excited that these figures have finally come here, and that they look so good, and that they turned out as well as they did. My hat's off to you, Super7. Thank you. I know that you get a lot of flack for what you've been doing for a while, since you've gotten the license. But I am super thankful and grateful that you carried the torch for as long as you did. So thank you so much, Super7. I appreciate what you've done, and thank you for bringing this to us. That'll be it for the review, guys. This was a fast and loose one. I'm just trying to get back into the video scene, the toy video thing in general. So I'm not really sure what the format is going to be going forward. I'm just going to kind of make these videos as they kind of come to me. I'm thinking about doing a collection video, like a collection highlight, maybe some nice tasteful shots of the collection, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I have planned. But my big plan for 2020 is to really start pushing hard on this YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more with my personal toy making, and I'm going to be doing a lot more with my painting and lots of stuff like that. I want to get more people involved, and I want more people to see what I do, and I want to enjoy more toys with you guys. I want to share my passion and my excitement for these toys. I would like to share that with everyone who's watching. And wow, I should also say this. Thank you so much for everyone who comes up to me at like New York Comic Con, Designer Con, 5 Points, like 5 Points Festival in Brooklyn. Thank you guys so much. Like, you guys keep coming up to me and being like, you keep doing the show, please keep doing the show, and coming up and saying that you guys watched. People who message me online, and people who email me, or people who comment on the page or on the YouTube or anything on my Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being so persistent and keep poking me until I'm like, yes, okay, I'll do it. This situation wasn't ideal at the other place that I was doing the videos, so now I have to do it within the confines of my own home bunker. So that's the situation. That's what I'm doing. That's what this whole new office is for. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making extreme home renovations for you. I want to be able to keep doing this. I really enjoy doing this, and your reception, your positive and great reception to it, is what is going to keep me going for the foreseeable future in trying to make this work. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your patience. Have a good one, everyone.